Alright, with this problem, still dealing with annuities, we want to look at or try to find how much money do we have to deposit at the end of each year to receive whatever financial goal we want to receive. So for instance, in this problem, it says how much money should we deposit at the end of each year if my financial goal is to accumulate $140,000. Okay, so that's what we want to look for. So again, we have our formula here, and so part A is just saying, okay, let's find this present value amount that you need to deposit at the end of each year. So I'm just going to plug in. So we know we're looking for P. So then P equals your A, which is the accumulated value, so that's 140,000, and then times your rate, which is 0.035, divided by N. Well, again, compounded annually. Okay, so what's compounded annually? So compounded annually means once a year, so my N is 1. Okay, so that's the top, and then on the bottom, again, you got to be careful with your brackets and your parentheses. So that's 1 plus 0.035 over 1. Raise that to the N times T. Again, N is 1, T is 17 years, minus 1. And now that's the bottom. Okay, so we just got to calculate this value out. Alright, so on the top, what we have is we have the 140,000 and then times 0.035 over 1, which is just 0.035. And that gives me 4,900 on the top. Okay, so now I'm going to calculate the bottom all at once. So I have the 0.035 divided by 1, which is 0.035, plus 1. Raise that to 1 times 17, which is 17. And then minus 1. I get this long decimal. Remember, you don't want to round until the very end. So I'm going to write out this whole long decimal I get. So 6.6528476323. Okay, so I wrote it all out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 4,900 on top, and I'm going to divide it by the 0.6528476323. Again, keep all the decimal. And so what we get then is we get a p-value of $7,505.58. Alright, and so to make sure we reach our goal, I'm going to take this p-value and I'm just going to round it up to the nearest dollar. So I'm going to say $7,506 is what needs to be deposited at the end of each year. Okay, so that's my P. So that's part A. Now part B says, well, how much of your financial goal comes from deposits and how much comes from interest? Well, let's see. If we pay $7,506 in each year for 17 years, then what that tells me is that I'm going to put in, so $7,506 times 17 years, that tells me that I'm paying 100, put our money, so $127,602. That's how much I'm putting in. Well, now if I take that amount and I'll subtract it from the 140,000 that I'm looking to accumulate over this time period, then what I have is $12,398 came from interest. So I put in $127,602. I gained $12,398 off interest.